Hey guys, so welcome to this week's podcast. In the last couple of podcasts, we've covered nutrition and exercise, sort of my thoughts and philosophies on setting a program up for our clients. And this week, I want to talk to you about mindset. So, your mindset is your beliefs and the way of thinking that combines with your experiences, your emotions, how you currently feel, and your attitude at that time, and that all comes together to dictate our response to a certain topic or a certain thing. So that's why at different times you can feel different ways about the same thing. So I came up with a little scenario, so let's just go through that. So you're at work, your colleague comes to ask you for a favour. Now it's a favour here, so the tone is just come over, more demanding than friendly, or is not as they would usually ask you for a favour. It feels more like they've demanded or requested for you to do something for them, and you generally are thinking that it's totally different than how they usually speak to you, and you're not sure how to respond. So one day your response might be like this. You're having a good day, you had a good sleep, you're ready to get to work, do the work, and then just feel good about yourself in general on that day. Even though it wasn't the same way that they would usually ask you, you maybe think they're angry, they're having something else that's going on with them, they're maybe angry about something else is happening in their life, but you just, do as they're requesting, asking you to do the favour anyway and not think anything more of it. The other hand, you could be having a bad week yourself, you could have not slept well, you've just not been feeling great in general about yourself, and you feel like they've come over and the tone they've used is different, it's inappropriate how you want to be spoken to, and you're angry and frustrated with them for how they've spoken to you. Then you spent the rest of the day being mad about the way they've spoken to you. That now it's the same situation, but depending on where you are, how you feel, that is dictated how you're responding to that person. So that is how I would say we're looking at our mindsets, just to come up. It's not always in the same place. There's a lot of people out there that are positive all the time. It's not everybody. I 100% guarantee that they're not 100% like positive and upbeat all of the time, but you can be at different times. Even different times of the day, your mindset will change throughout, but your mindset will definitely change as you progress through your training and your lifestyle. So our mindset can greatly affect our ability to hit our goals and even to set our goals. So if you're looking at your mindset in a positive way, you're looking to, say, lose a few pounds as your goal, then when it comes to the weekend, you end up feeling like you've not even had a bad week, you've just had a week where you want to enjoy the weekend and maybe go out, have a few drinks, eat more than you would usually do. Now, when you're in a more positive mindset, you might be going, oh right, okay, well, my goal is to lose that few pounds, so what I'll do is I'll just have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then overall it won't matter across the space of the week or the month because I've been pretty good most of the time. Other times, if you feel you had like a really bad week and you're using the weekend to, it's the weekend, we're going to have lots of snacks, we're going to have lots of food. So even though it's the same thing happening, when it comes to the weekend, if you're positive and feel like everything's progressing well, you're more likely to stick to it. If you feel like you've had a bad week and it's not going as well as you'd have liked, this is where it can you can cut a stumbling block for keeping in line with your goals and your targets. So like I said, if your goal is to lose a few pounds, then you want to consider what you are eating at a weekend, but that is harder if you're in a more, not a negative mindset, but just not in the zone and the more focus that you have felt in previous. So this is where sometimes the weekend, it is easier to plan as well and to be able to stick to the plan, but also when your mindset's not at the place where it is where you're able to stick to the plan, it can just cause a bump in the road. But to be honest, if it's only once weekend, so you've changed everything, like you've changed your lifestyle and you're feeling like there's just this one weekend you want to, I'm going to go off plan, but you're going to just change up what you're having, you're going to eat more or drink more than you had originally planned. It's only one weekend out of, all the weekends where you've been good. So the likelihood that is not going to disrupt your target to lose weight, but it can affect your mindset and how you're feeling. I've ruined it all. And you, instead of refocusing, so have whatever you're going to have, the next day get back on track to what you have planned, then you let that roll on and roll on and roll on, and then that just negatively impacts. So what's the point? I don't want to do this. So if we can put our mindset in that over when we're not feeling great, or we're not feeling the positive way we want to do it, is like look for your ways to get yourself back on track. So if you're not doing it every weekend, then that's fine, get back on track on the Monday. If you are doing it every weekend, you really need to look at setting some things in place to help you stay on track longer term. So we've all been there. I'll give you my wee short story here. So I was in a situation where I was just eating more every weekend and drinking more, and eating all the chili heatwave Doritos. And in the short of sort of 10, 12 months, I put on 10 kilos, 11 kilos, and I wasn't happy, but things had to change, but only I could change it. So I knew that. I didn't really know where to start or what I wanted to do with that. So my mindset had swapped to going, I want to do it, but I don't know where to start. So nothing really changed until I had decided on what I was actually going to do and put a slight plan into place. My one was just to get a personal trainer and go to that PT sessions once a week, and I thought that would fix everything. So mindset was focused on the training, and everything would fall into place for me after that. But that generally isn't the case. Just doing one hour PT session a week is not going to be enough to swap my whole mindset around about my food. And so after, as I say, it was about 3 months or 4 months, I was eating less than I had been. I was doing that workout. But I still wasn't seeing what I wanted to see on the scale, so it was a little bit disheartening. And that's where actually, when you're looking to do it, in the reality, your mindset needs to be thinking more long term. It took me 10 months or 12 months to put on that 11 kilograms, and I wanted that instant results to come off, and I want that weight off immediately. But that isn't how it isn't how it goes. It's going to take longer. If it took 10 months to come off, it could to go on. It could take the 10 months to come off. If you've been doing a habit or something for the last 10 years, you can't expect the results in like 10 weeks. It could take 10 months, 12 months, a year and a half. These things are inbuilt into us, and the longer we've been doing it, the harder it is to change that habit. But it can be done. You just need to stick with it. So it's more of a perseverance mindset, even when things aren't going the way exactly you would like them to do. So basically, I decided my attempt to go to the personal trainer was a half-ass attempt, and I had to do more. So this is where I had to have a look at what I was doing in general and out with that PT session, and that was looking at the food I was eating and other activity levels that I was doing. And the only person that can change that or could change that for me was me. I am in 100% control of the foods I eat most of the time, and the activities that I'm doing out with that PT session as well. So I would say knowledge is definitely power when it comes to being able to change your lifestyle. That's why I like to share all the information that I can with all my clients, give them different ways to train, different home workouts, gym workouts, whatever suits their lifestyle. Knowing more about your training helps you. Definitely improving your knowledge on nutrition 100% helps you with making better food choices, because I guess informed decisions are easier to make. So you can, when you're looking at a packet, you don't understand how to read a food label, you know what the traffic light system means. So if you can have that information available and ready for you to use in your head, then that just definitely makes it a lot easier to progress. So what I'd say is reading about nutrition definitely is, or learning about nutrition definitely improved how I would have seen the food that I was eating. Things I thought were good and healthy and weren't. And all I realised was that it wasn't going to take an extreme diet. So I mean, like cutting out all carbs or cutting out all fat wasn't going to be, or wasn't going to be something that would work for me, because I don't have the mental discipline to cut them all out all of the time. And I don't know, over restrictive diets as well are hard for most people to stick with. That's why my mindset was more to change a few little things here and there, and then just do them little by little, and I was actually able to stick to it a lot better. So by swapping out breakfast to begin with, that was easy to do. Pick a healthier breakfast, then make a lunch, and then the dinners as well, prepping them in advance. All these things helped with my mind on the day. So on days I wasn't feeling as good, or like I was going to stick to healthy, I wanted to go to the shop and buy, you know, the usual crisps and chocolate. I had stuff made already, and it was just there, and it was so much easier just to stick that in the microwave than it was to go to the shop. So that kept me in the zone even when I didn't feel like I was 100% committed to doing it. The habit of doing the food prep kept me on target for what I wanted to do, was to drop that 11 kilograms. I will say I've never dropped the whole 11 kilograms that I had been looking to lose, because halfway through that my mind changed on what I wanted to do. So I didn't want to get back down to the weight I was previously. I actually wanted to build some muscles, so that flew right out the window. For getting back down to dropping off that 11 kilograms, I probably only took off initially in the beginning about, let's say, about 6 kilograms of it, so about a stone, and then that was fine. I was happy with that weight, and then after a little while I wanted to still do the strength but lose a little bit more weight. Don't know why, to be honest. I think sometimes for everyone the numbers on the scale is important, even just in your own head. Nobody cares what the scales say, but I wanted to see it below the weight it was, and it wasn't too much. I would say a couple of kilograms. So I set that as my target for 12 weeks, was to drop that. I don't like to do that. I don't like to have over restrictive. I like food too much to have over restrictive diets, and it does. If I over restrict, I will just eat more at a weekend. So for me, mentally, having the higher calories all the time and just lose slowly worked better. Whereas in the beginning, I would have preferred to have like no calories, or like, you know, as minimal calories as possible, and see the instant results. So that has been a big swap around and shift in mindset for me over the past like 5 years. And that definitely helped with progress as well, that my goal changed from looking what the scales were saying to then being able to, you know, I wanted to squat 100 kilograms or bench body weight and things like that. So setting a performance goal then definitely gave me more of a focused approach to the training as well as the nutrition, finding that balance, because I was almost around maintenance calories. So it's when you're looking to lose weight, it's an easy one. As a target, you want to see it come down every week, and when you're looking around maintenance, just to slightly drop, but keep calories high, because I just feel hungry all the time if they're super low. Then that was switching again, looking at how I was seeing the training and the food that I was eating, and then sticking to that plan as well. So you can see that mindset really does affect everything that you do. And all the work that you're putting in, the way you see things is a huge influence and factor in how well you're able to achieve your results and your goals that you set yourself. So once hopefully this all makes sense in a line. So once you've got your mindset to a position where you've got you know where you're going, you want to get there, you're on the process to go with it, please bear in mind that it's going to take longer than you think. And just because 1 week it's like, you know, down maybe 100 grams or 200 grams, that is a win. It's going down. Your aim is to lose weight, or your aim is to lose fat. It's going down. It doesn't have to be huge drops. And actually, it's better for long-term, I say, happiness. Everyone wants to be as happy as you can, and if you can see the scales going down gradually, it is a big win. It might go up in between, it might go down, but if you see it overall, over your period that you're doing it, you see it going down, that is great. Your head sees that, your head and what you see on the scales is matching up. That's going to keep you going. Whether it's a little loss or a big loss, it is a loss at the end of the day, and you're not putting it on, which you've been doing, and that's why you're on this weight loss journey, as cheesy as that sounds. So once you've got the things that work for you, then, you know, they become habits. So getting your steps in, food prepping if you need to food prep, going to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, whatever you've set yourself to do, they all become a habit and you want to do it. And you just do it because you can, and it is more not as a punishment for what you've been eating, but it is now something you get to do, and you look forward to going to do it, and you look forward to seeing the results that you're getting in the gym, maybe what you're lifting. It's always great to hit a PB or a PR in the gym. That gives you motivation itself, and then that's in you, that motivation's then coming from. So it's not seeing the scales, it's you getting stronger and building your confidence, and building your technique. And they're all things that matter when you're trying to become, like, say, a better version, but like a fitter, healthier version. The performance ones are ace to look at and see. You've gone from being able to bench X to now you're up here, or squat on or deadlift, as well as the skills, they become less important the more you focus on your performance ones. But it's not an easy mind shift to be just wanting to see what the scales are saying. Okay, so I guess across all of this, my whole point is that when you want to do something and you put your mind to it, you have to put the effort in as well. And that is what you'll get results. And your mindset is critical to, I guess, the outcome of your result and maximising your results. So I've made a quick list. I'm going to read them out because I wanted to make sure I got them all, of things that you can do to support your goals and your mindset around setting your goals. So write down the goal. This makes it real. And then you can talk to somebody about it for a little bit of accountability. It doesn't have to be a coach or a personal trainer. It can just be somebody that maybe you know will be your supporter in that goal. They can help you with it. They can just be there as like a sounding board, someone to help you out, someone just to talk about it with. Talking about it makes it, well, it helps making it real as well, but it also means you feel a little bit accountable to them, even if you've not asked them for that. You know, you've told someone, therefore you've got to go and do it. Second thing, especially around mindset, if your goal is to basically, this probably doesn't matter your goal, mostly around weight loss, is clear out your social media. Honestly, follow people that are doing the same thing as you are. Not these guys or girls that's jobs is to be a fitness model, you know, or be an athlete, and their job is to keep fit and look good. You work full time, you've got other commitments, you've got everything else around that, and you're fitting your training in. So if you can clear those guys out, if they don't support your goals, obviously if you're looking to do other things and then that is your goal, that's kind of your inspiration, is to follow these ones. But follow things that support you and give you information, and yeah, just keep the numbers that you're following to people that are doing things that you look to do. So if you are a vegetarian, that's probably a bad example. So if you're training to lose weight, there's no point in people following people who are they're gaining weight, if you know what I mean. So they're bulking or increasing their weight. So you want to follow people that are in your zone. When you see it, it motivates you a little bit more, and if you see it more, then it's in your mind's eye a little bit more as well. Number 3 would be, remember that one unhealthy meal or one bad meal or day doesn't have to ruin the whole week or the whole month. You can get back on track on that next meal and that next day. That is as simple as that. That is the one thing I tell everyone. It is one meal, back on track. You've enjoyed it, it's done, it's dusted, get back on track with what you planned for your week to hit your goal. Okay, number 4, there are no good or bad foods. That's a terrible mindset. So foods are not good or bad. Some just support your goal more now, and you need to consider the foods that support your goal when you are picking the foods that you're buying. All foods have a time and a place. You will all enjoy sweets or crisps. Well, most people will enjoy that, and some alcohol. So it's not that they're bad for you. Well, I mean, some of them are bad for you, but let's not say they're not. They're bad for your goal, not bad food in general. We shouldn't demonize any type of food. They just don't support what you're trying to do. That would be another good thing to consider as well. Number 5, I've gone over a couple of times, but the process for everything is going to take longer. You won't be longer than you think, and it's not going to be perfect. There's no way, nobody ever sees the scales just go down until they hit their ideal weight. It'll go down and up. It'll just depend. It'll depend on where you are in your life, how you're feeling about things, how busy work is, how busy the family is. All these things will matter to hitting your goal, and it does not matter if you have a little bump in the road and it comes back. Bump, back. It does not matter. You are still progressing. You are still, even if you lose weight and goes back up here, you are still below where you started. That is all you need to remember. You are fitter than you probably are. You're eating better than you were, and you are usually, I'm going to say, lighter than you were. If that is your goal, the weight is down. So you're still further ahead you are when if you hadn't started anything at all. Last one. Okay. Include foods or drinks on your nutritional plan or whoever you're following that you like. This will mean that you don't feel like you're on a diet. So if you go every day, I'll have a bar of chocolate, right? You know your bar of chocolate is 200 calories. That can easily fit into your program, or your nutritional plan, sorry. That's easy to fit into it. calculate the calories, how much you need each day. I say need, that's like for you to feel satisfied with it. So if 200 calories worth of chocolate, you build that into your plan. That means you're having healthy breakfast, healthy lunch, healthy dinner, and you still have your snack. That means you don't feel like you're on a diet. This works perfectly if you have a sweet tooth, a savoury tooth. You know, if you just like snacking and there's always one thing that you feel like, if I ate that every day, I'd not be on a diet. That is the one thing you're looking at. I'll keep it around 200 to maybe 250 calories, depending on how much calories you're having, because obviously if you're on lower calories, especially if you're a smaller human being, then you're going to be less calories to lose weight. So you want to consider the snack size with that. But generally including one thing every day or every second day, whatever you need, that is a great way to prevent you from feeling over restricted and like you're on too much of a diet. So on that, when you if you think about when you're told when you were a kid, you can't have that, then that's all you think about having, that's all you want. So we're just removing that barrier of you can't have it, but actually you can, we'll just have a little bit of it in moderation. So hopefully this chat, and if you're watching it on YouTube, the video will help with your mindset around looking to lose fat or lose weight, and will be able to sort of support your goals as well. If you need help with creating a nutritional plan or just a chat with me, feel free to send me a message and I'll get back to you. If you are listening for the podcast, if you can like or no, you can't like a podcast, can you? I don't know. You can subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to it, and if you're on YouTube, you can subscribe to this to my YouTube channel to stay up to date when I send out latest videos and podcasts. Okay guys, speak to you next week.